Hello and welcome.
Hi there, my name is Kaylee.
My name is Shay.
We live in New York City, and I have a lot of student loan debt.
That's a terrible intro.
I come up with a better one.
You're just sticking with it. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. It is the beautiful week in between Christmas and New Year's, where we're all just kind of floating in the ether, drinking coffee, drinking eggnog, having leftover cookies.
I wish I had some leftover cookies. We are thriving, and we are preparing for 2024.
Yes.
We had an offline conversation, of which we have from time to time, but this one in particular was talking about targets and category changes in YNAB, which is You Need a Budget, which you can see around the edges here. Talking about changes we want to see in our budget in 2024. For those of you who don't know, we combined finances in the year 2023.
Yes, we did.
And truthfully, I think it's going swimmingly.
Yeah, I think it's going very well, all things considered.
All things considered. I think there has not been any knockdown, drag-out fights about where the money is going or where it should be going.
No, not really.
I feel very happy about both of our contributions to our goals this year. Feeling very good about it. So much so that we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And we need to update our targets and stuff.
Yes, we do.
Because 2024 is a different year. And we have slightly different priorities. Not super different, but slightly different.
I think we have things that we're both in charge of thinking about more.
Yeah.
And so we just naturally prioritize those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of evening out our budget. And, well, let's just take a look. So we made a fun little to-do list on this chaotic, crazy document that I have here.
Yes.
At some point, I mean, we're still saving up for a wedding right now, so this is not super urgent, but at some point we'd like to open a high-yield savings account specifically for saving for our house down payment.
Yeah.
And then we talked about what targets we want to adjust and the things we want to see that are different. So we're going to be adjusting some targets, adding some new categories, and changing up some category groups.
Yes.
Crazy stuff. Looking frisky. And then Shay made a great point that for her, in 2023, I was doing an annual challenge about eating out and spending money on food. And that worked for my brain. And then Shay pitched that it's a lot easier for her brain to do
monthly challenges.
Small monthly challenges. So we need to decide what those are going to be still. We have not thought about it because it's been Christmas, so we've been thinking about a lot of other things. We need to decide the January one for sure. And then we need to start writing some down. So if you have some ideas
for our monthly challenges,
please help us, because we picked the idea that there's gonna be monthly challenges, and then didn't decide on any of them. Throughout the video, you'll see me looking over here. That's because I'm gonna put this on my other screen. Boop, 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 boop. And we can still see it, but you cannot. And ignore I've got some overspent. This is all. That's life.
Friday stuff.
It's Wednesday. That's Friday stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make us a little bit smaller, but we don't need to be drastically small as usual, I would say.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to start, I think, category groups, then categories, then targets.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Big to little? Okay, so category groups, we decided we would like to have a gifts and giving category, and then household as its own category as well. Technically, we do have a category called household, but this is our wish list.
Yeah.
So would you like to leave that separately as a wish list?
We have never once
even
contributed to this wish list.
No.
We never look at it. I feel like maybe we actually don't need
this as wish list in the budget.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Like, we can have a wish list, but we just save up for a wish list in
I don't want to
Pretty House or household fixtures or something else.
Now we can move household to anything under life.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got household consumables. And household fixtures.
Yep.
Is there anything else?
Oh,
and then there was a new category, but we'll do that in a second.
Yes.
Okay. And then we also wanted to add a gifts and giving category.
Yes.
Okay. Giving. And I'm going to put that under sink the funds or above sink the funds?
Under sink the funds.
Okay. And then, guess what? Gifts.
Because technically, I consider gifts and giving sinking funds.
I also consider them sinking funds, especially current state right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, those are our category groups.
Yes.
We feel good about those.
Yes.
Now, so let me check this off on my little to-do list here. Done. Now we're going to add categories. So, current state, I'm going to change this to Christmas gifts. I'm going to add, you like birthday gifts or gifts birthday?
I think birthday gifts.
Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, we're happy with that?
Yeah. Can you add a little birthday cake emoji?
For Mac people, Control Command Space. This little cake here?
Yes.
For PC people, I don't know. I don't have one.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
You
I
have
don't
a PC.
know. I believe in you. Okay, and then we wanted to add a slush fund category. Where would that live?
I think that would probably live in sinking funds. For those of you who are not aware, I have a variable income. And right now, any variability that goes above what my normal paycheck is for my day job is going directly into our wedding fund. But we did run into a bit of an issue in November where I was not able to, or I was working a lot and just not getting paid for it quite yet.
Acting.
Yes. Stipend life, baby. I was working a lot, not getting paid for it quite yet. And so we were down below like a lot where we needed to be. And when I had my own finances, what I had was a slush fund where all of that extra money would go. And I would save it for weeks, months, like the November that we had, where I'm working a lot, not getting paid for it yet, and I need to pull something out to cover my daily expenses. And so we are reinstituting that. I don't think the slush fund is going to receive anything probably until we hit our fundraising goal for the wedding. Right?
I would disagree. I think we should put stuff towards it.
Oh, okay.
We'll decide when we get to targets about how much. I think it's just...
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just a good idea. Even if it's just a little bit, so it's like a couple $100 next time it comes around or whatever, you know? I just think it's like a good idea. Like a mini, more liquid emergency fund, but not even emergency fund. Like, it's just like when you have a variable income.
It's exactly what it sounds like. I haven't come up with a better word for it than slush fund because that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
when you have a variable income, and things are super easy and chill when you're in good times, but you don't put any money away. It makes the slower times much impossible. And I think we were hoping that like my steady income would be enough, but I think we just need to completely rework the budget for that to be a thing, and I don't think we're there quite yet.
Yeah.
So in order for us to achieve all our goals and maintain current lifestyle,
we're bringing back the slush fund.
We're bringing back the slush fund. And the last one on the categories list is Pretty House. I'll let you explain Pretty House as well. I know where that's going.
So, we have been together reading the book Financial Feminist. We've been enjoying it a lot. But one of the exercises that she has you do in that book is figure out sort of 3 buckets that you want most of your non-essential expenses to be going toward. And for me, one of my big buckets that I seem to never be able to set aside money for is cultivating a home that is cozy and functional and well-maintained and aesthetically pleasing. And it's one of those things that I don't set aside a lot of money for because it feels superfluous, but it is something that's important to me. So we're at the point now where we have decided that that's something that we want to put in the budget.
It's stuff that we're spending money on anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's just being intentional with it.
Yeah, that is something that I love to do, that I've noticed.
What?
I don't put things in my budget because I feel like they are superfluous and unnecessary, and then I spend money on them anyway.
Which I think is super reasonable. I think maintaining a nice, peaceful household is important to you, and so if you value it, and I value it, it makes us happy.
Why not?
Let's be intentional with it and put it in there. And it's not like it's going to be $6,000 a month on candles. That's not going to be us.
No.
Okay. Now, that is all the new categories. I have pulled up our spending income versus expense report on YNAB for the purpose of looking at our average spent.
Oh, wonderful.
Is
yay
this category right here, our average spent. And we're looking at adjusting some targets to match reality.
Yeah.
Including adding new targets to categories that don't have them, adjusting up or down. I think it's all up. I don't think it's down. Okay, so first on the list, household consumables.
Yes.
Average spending right now is $69.46. Our current target is $30.
Yes.
What do we think?
So we adjust the target to 60, 70, 65?
I think let's do 60.
Okay.
Or do we just do 70 and I stop pretending that we don't spend $70?
I mean, household consumables is not exactly something that, we just can't.
We need soap and toilet paper.
Yeah.
We just do. So, 70 monthly savings builder so it stacks over time. Save target. Transportation.
Yes. Transportation's been a tough one.
I hate
because
it.
Our transportation needs vary wildly from month to month.
Vastly.
Yeah.
And because my transportation needs have changed pretty drastically in the last year. So, actually, speaking of exactly that, I need to change this range because the first 3 months I was spending $0 on transportation.
Yes.
Which is not real. So it says current state 142, but that's not real either.
It could be.
Like, how am I spending? No,
You're not spending.
This is before we combined. So let's say September is when we combined. If anyone from YNAB is watching this, when I change something on here, I don't need you to re-expand all the things. Stop doing that. Okay, so average spending since September is $225. Yeah. $224.32, which feels more reasonable. So do we just bite it and go $225?
Yeah.
And then just I think we can let it build in months when we're not so busy.
Yeah. I would say absolute minimum would be $175 because I'm going to be needing a monthly pass much more often.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like, how did we spend $270 in November? Oh, because the lifts from Friendsgiving. Okay, so I feel okay with putting it at $175, knowing that these are things that are pure laziness.
That we're, saving up for moments in which, my God, our lives are so much better because we took those lifts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I think monthly regular spending is $175-ish. We'll keep an eye on it.
Monthly pass is $130.
Yeah, and then that gives $45 for me to jet all about.
Yep. And if you're not jetting all about that particular month,
we'll let it roll.
Let it roll.
And then if we need to save up for something outside of the norm, we can save up for it separately.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. Booze and ordering food. We do not have targets for, but we spend from often.
Yes.
So booze.
Not having a target for booze is actually a holdover from August, where we kind of had a semi-dry month in the household. And then we just never set a target after we started buying alcohol. We were like, well,
we're not going to buy booze, and we're spending $200 on average a month, but that's not... I don't think that's... See, this is an out of the ordinary month. $18, $345. $81, $200. $75, $150.
What's the average?
The average is 163. But I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, I agree that that's a lot. Why don't we set a target at 100?
And then be more intentional with that 100. Because I think what's happening is we don't have a target.
And so we're not like...
So we're doing just whatever and then just filling it after the fact. I don't call it a monthly savings builder, so it rolls. Okay, ordering food. As if you've watched any of our videos previously, ordering food was our challenge for the year. And we wanted to keep it under $2,500, which we did not do. But it is, I think, just a little over half of what we spent last year, so I'm feeling really proud of that.
Yeah, the fact that we cut our spending on ordering food in half is, I would say, a huge win, actually. Yeah.
And we'll go over the accomplishments and the exact numbers from last year to this year and stuff.
Yeah.
But this year, I think we're finding a solid spot where we're like eating out a comfortable amount.
Yeah.
And not feeling crazy about it. So it says that our average is just under $250.
Okay.
Does that feel reasonable?
Yeah, I think so. And I think if you want to continue to challenge ourselves, now that also encompasses
work food.
You know, we're like, okay, work food now counts as ordering food, so technically we'd be challenging ourselves even more this coming year.
All right, $250.
Yeah. And 250 times 12 is what?
3,000. 3,000 a year? Does that feel like a reasonable spend to you?
Yeah. Yes, it does. There is so much delicious food in New York City.
There is.
That does sound like a reasonable spend to me.
Okay, and then travel is one that we, again, spend from and don't ever have a target on. And our average is $315.16 a month.
Woo! Okay.
That's... wowza. Really? How are we making that happen?
Well,
we save up and then we spend a lot. And then we save up and then we spend a lot. So you'll see a couple of things here and there prepping for trips.
Yeah, I mean, based on what we spend generally per vacation, that actually does, that math does math.
Okay.
If we factor, like, 3 vacations a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should make the target like 300.
Yeah.
This is getting out of hand. Okay. Because like what's happening is we'll do the math here in a second and see. Wow. Okay, and then I wanted to take a look at your Roth IRA.
Yes.
Because right now we're putting $50 a month. But I think our monthly goals have just surpassed what is reasonable. Because here, let's do some math together, shall we? So $56.60.
Yeah.
We're kind of bang on. $56.60 is our minimum.
Yeah.
And actually, in not 5 paycheck or 5 week months, we're under. Because right now what this is doing is groceries has an extra week because the month has an extra week. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about all the math that I just had to cut out. I'm going to cut it out of the video, but just so you know, we're coming back frustrated because I can't do math on the computer and Shay's putting up with me. So I would like to bump up your Roth IRA.
Okay.
Because I have a generous employer match that goes into my retirement accounts every single week. So my retirement is growing at a reasonable pace.
Yes.
And Shay does not have that. So I would like to beef up your Roth IRA a little bit.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think an extra $25 a month.
25
would make me so super happy.
I'm super on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't honestly need a ton more than that. Because mostly the thing that is important to me is that we're just doing it consistently now.
Yeah, that's fair. You are young.
It'll pay off in a huge way later.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to, at a certain point, whenever possible, max it out. And I would like to prioritize maxing yours out over maxing mine out. Because, like I said, that 401k, I'm putting a lot in.
Yeah.
Not near maxing out the 401k, but the limits are higher. All right, so if we slide into January, that is all the targets on our list. In the month of January, 55.76, and we said 56.60 was our minimum.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. I say we leave it there.
Leave it there.
Yeah.
So we haven't adjusted anything in bills. Bills are the same. Sophia's not charged us for this. Let it roll.
Sophia, if you're there.
She's not.
What do we owe you?
We didn't adjust anything for cats. Cat stuff feels good still.
Yeah. Cat stuff feels like we've definitely got a lot like rolling over right now, which is great for when we have
it feels like we have not yet hit a point where we needed money for cat stuff, or at least not in the last couple months.
Yeah.
When we first got the kittens, it was a little difficult, but I think over the last couple months, anytime we've needed like, oh, we need to pick up litter, great, there's already money in the category.
Yeah.
So that stuff all feels good.
Yeah.
Life stuff.
I feel very happy with all of these targets still. I feel like
it'll be much easier as we set the intentionality at the beginning of this year, and like when this is rolling for a couple months and then we spend from it, that'll be easier.
Yeah.
I feel like date night has been good. Groceries is still feeling solid.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vitamins and supplements, we just need to be more intentional about not having to pull our money out at the end of the month. And I think slush fund. Oh, we didn't set a target for slush fund.
Oh, you're right.
That's the one we missed.
That's okay. So what do we have left over from that?
Well, in December, none.
Yeah, obviously. But in January.
Where did I put slush fund? In sinking funds?
Yes.
Okay, let's just go into January where it's less numbers. So $90 we have left over technically.
Okay. Let's do 50 for now.
Okay.
50 a month, and then the slush fund will do its thing when we start getting slushy funds. Sometimes they're frozen, sometimes they're liquid. That's the
point. You're funny. Okay. 56.26.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel really solid about that.
I feel really solid about that as well.
Yeah.
All right. Starting 2024 off right.
In a big way. I feel really good about this, actually. I just started out with a lot of anxiety about YNAB, and the more I use it, the better I feel about it. And I'm feeling very good about the adjustments that we've made.
I know angels out there watch this video.
I know.
Like, yeah.
I'm learning and growing.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do with this Christmas gifts and birthday gifts thing, I'm not going to make you all watch that, but I'm going to go through and recategorize all the money we've spent this year into birthday and Christmas because I'm... and then set targets that way versus right now what we had was one big gifts category with a target. So we will take a look at that and probably just drop an update on our Friday video because I'm probably going to do that right now. But it's going to be boring and
I'm losing steam.
She's losing steam. I didn't want to say it for you.
You're not crazy. You're just very detail-oriented.
I am very detail-oriented.
And I appreciate
my brain
that
happy.
You.
And I appreciate you taking the time to go through this budget, even though I know that we're probably dropping it to a point of detail that is not as joy-inducing for your brain.
No.
So I appreciate you. That's our 2024 setup. We didn't change a ton. A little wiggle in here and there because we only started doing this in September. Give us some time. Thanks very much. We'll see you on Friday. Have a good one.
Have a good one.